My name is Lisa Brennan. I'm an investigator here at the Office of Consumer Protection. One of my jobs is to advocate for the county before the Maryland Public Service Commission, the state agency that oversees our utility companies. Pepco delivers power to over 700,000 customers in D.C. and Maryland. As part of a new plan to improve customer service, system upgrades are in the works. That includes the installation of smart meters in residential homes and businesses. I recently met up with Tom Graham, Pepco Region President, and Eric Kaufman from the county's Office of Environmental Protection to discuss what smart meters mean for you. Tom, what exactly is a smart meter or advanced metering infrastructure, and what does it do for residents of Montgomery County?
Essentially, a smart meter is just a device, a communication device, which is part of a larger infrastructure. And the larger infrastructure would include communications, would include something we call distribution automation. But I would say over the last 100 years, this will be the greatest innovation, the greatest transformation of the business, which you'll see the next 20 years. So that's why we're very excited about it. It will empower our customers to save energy. It will also help us on an operational basis be able to detect outages and bring back our customers earlier. So we're very excited about it.
I've been on the Public Service Commission's work group for these smart meters, and as such, I understand about that this relates not just to Maryland customers, but can you explain how this is going to involve the metro area and maybe even further out?
Well, this is a national effort. As President Obama discussed, smart meter rollout, AMI infrastructure rollout is going to take place all over the country. There was a lot of federal funding that was available. We were able to secure a lot of that money. So for the Pepco territory, it's about $150 million for AMI deployment across the board. $45 million of that was in the district. The other $105 million was in Maryland. But this is also very closely connected to Governor O'Malley's energy efficiency goals for the state as well. It's critical that this aspect of it is executed seamlessly. By 2015, there's supposed to be a 15% reduction in usage, also demand. The only way that we can get to that number is if those smart meters are in place. But it's just not here. It's taking place all over the country. In California, they're probably a little ahead of us on the rollout right now. We've been looking at smart grid and smart meters and AMI probably since 2007. We had introduced a concept called Blueprint for the Future, and the Blueprint for the Future included energy efficiency programs, which are now operating as Empower Maryland programs. There's an entire cadre of programs that are available. Information is on our website at pepco.com, but there is also a component in there that talked about smart meters. So when the federal money became available, that was really a positive signal for us to continue moving forward. And we were very successful in securing as much money that was available. So essentially took 50% of the cost out of the smart meters.
Can you explain the rollout of smart meters and what residents should expect to happen?
They can expect a letter anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks in advance of the smart meter being installed. When we come into the neighborhood, we'll knock on the door to let them know what we're doing.
Hello, how how are you?
I'm good. How are
Pepco
you?
here. I'm going to install a new meter on your home.
Okay.
Okay, now if you have a computer on, you might want to turn that off.
I do. Can you hang on a second?
Sure.
Okay.
Power's going to go out for about a half a minute or so.
Half a minute? Okay, let me turn it off.
Sure.
And also there'll be a brief service interruption. There'll be either a Pepco meter technician, which will have an ID badge. There'll also be an ID badge for a company we use, the Scope Services. And if there's ever any question about who is that party at your door, then you can call us at 833-7500 and we can clarify that for you.
Like in 2 minutes it was done, and I turned off my computer and power's back up, and it was just so speedy. I'm hoping it'll be able to tell me before I have to make the phone call that the power's out. It'll tell Pepco the power's out, and they'll get moving on it very quickly. And it was just really speedy and make it more efficient to see where the power's out.
And what about businesses? Is there going to be a notification to businesses as well?
Businesses will be notified. The structure of the system would not require the business to take an outage. So I know that would be something of concern to them. So really the brief service interruption really applies to our residential customers.
What about condominium communities that may be on a master meter where there's one meter for 500 units? How's that going to work in notification and people knowing what's happening? And would they expect an outage to install the meter?
The same notification process. Whoever that customer of record is, we would be in contact with them. If it's a master meter, then it would be the responsibility of that building owner to notify the tenants of the building so that they know what's taking place.
What are the specific benefits after the smart meter is installed that consumers can expect to realize?
Right now we're just in the beginning stages. So I always describe it as crawl, walk, run. So basically right now we're at the crawl stage. All it is a meter exchange. Once we complete the full implementation, which will be sometime at the end of December of 2012, some of the early benefits might be the practical elimination of estimated meter reads, which would be a great benefit, which means you get a more accurate bill. Outage detection, our ability from home to make a determination whether a customer is out of service. So if you can imagine that if a tree were to hit a line at some point, and that would take out, let's say, 1,100 customers. But because of the schemes and the distribution automation that's in place, you can reroute the service around that particular fault. So instead of a customer being out of service for, let's say, 4 hours, you could reroute the service in less than a minute. And so instead of 1,100 customers being out, now there's only 900 customers being out. We still have to go to that location, and we still have to do the repairs of that spot. But that doesn't mean all the customers on that particular circuit have to be out of service. There's also the ability to connect on the internet through a tool called My Account. Today, a meter is read once a month. In the future, that meter will be read, data will be transferred back and forth about 6 times during the course of the day. That information can then be downloaded onto My Account, which is the customer's personal account, and they can look at their energy data. Today, at the end of the month, you get a bill. Now, all that is passed already. In the future, if you're able to go into the system and you can make determinations at various points during the month of what your usage is, and then long term, there'll be compatible appliances within your home. And you can say, well, you know, kids, you left this TV on again, and I can tell because I see the little spike coming up. So you can balance the loads within your home.
Are there privacy or security issues with smart meters? And what about radio frequency signals that smart meters use?
We receive a lot of questions with respect to privacy. That information we would not release. It's a data exchange going back and forth between Pepco and the customer. It's not our intent to share the information. It's not our intent to sell the information. With respect to RF, you know, RF, I would say when you look at baby monitors or you look at cellular phones or cordless phones that are in your house, the RF levels are a little higher than they would be than this particular meter. This meter is really idle also for about 99% of the time. So every study that's been taking place has indicated there's no body of evidence that would relate the operation of similar signals to any type of adverse health conditions.
Pepco has a number of other programs under the Empower initiative to help consumers reduce their energy consumption. Could you tell us a little bit more about those programs and how consumers can access them?
We're launching initiatives right now, kind of in a partnership with the state of Maryland. So we have the Empower Maryland programs, and there's an entire cadre of programs that are available. Information is on our website at pepco.com. I would encourage every customer to make sure they get a home energy checkup first. And of course here in the great county of Montgomery, there's a real interest in renewables. So that's really the enabler for solar, that's the enabler for wind, and then somewhere down the road, it also opens the doors for electric vehicles as well. So that's another reason that we're so excited about it.
Tom, I want to thank you for talking with us today about smart meters, and Eric, of course, thank you for all of your work with Montgomery County's residents on energy programs.